Please be seated. As Secretary and Clerk, it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you to this afternoon's graduation ceremony. Graduation ceremonies follow a tradition that began in the 15th century, and that tradition has developed since. Roughly translated, graduation means taking a step. And graduation symbolizes the move of the former student, now called a graduand, into a new role in wider society as a graduate, there to use the talents developed as a member of this academic society. Each graduand will cross the stage and shake hands with the Vice-Chancellor to symbolize their transition to this new role, and we will applaud them for their success so far and in anticipation of their contribution to society in future. At the end of the ceremony, the Vice-Chancellor will formally admit all those who have crossed the stage, symbolizing that each and every graduate is now incorporated into the community of scholars. As new members of this community, as the academic procession leaves the stage, the new graduates will join the procession, and that will conclude the proceedings. During the ceremony, those graduating with higher degrees will have their hood placed on them by the Vice-Chancellor to mark that they have attained the very highest levels of academic achievement. It is now time to begin our formal proceedings, and so I hereby declare the ceremony to be in session, and I call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Ian Martin, to address you. Vice-Chancellor.
Graduands, family and friends, colleagues, as Vice-Chancellor of Anglia Ruskin University, it's my very great pleasure to be here today at your graduation ceremony. This is my first year at ARU, and this autumn's graduation celebrations are the first that I'm fortunate enough to be part of. Firstly, congratulations on reaching this milestone and in graduating from your chosen course. Today, it's not only a chance to take stock and celebrate your achievements to date, but to look forward to the multitude of careers that stretch in front of each of you. These careers will undoubtedly be wide and varied, but they will be joined by a common theme that will touch on all of you, and that theme is change, and unpredictable change at that. My academic background is medicine, but throughout my career, I've had a very interesting and active engagement with digital technology. I am unkindly referred to by my daughters as a geek. I'm going to use both that part of my life and my academic background to put some context in what I mean by unpredictable change. It was the German philosopher Hegel who first commented that the only thing we learn from history is that we learn nothing from history. He was correct in almost all contexts except one. And I think the one thing we have learnt is that we're absolutely terrible about predicting the future. We certainly didn't get it right in the 19th century. The telephone has too many shortcomings to be seriously considered as a means of communication. Western Union, 1876. We can laugh, the Americans got it wrong, the Brits weren't much better. The Americans have need of the telephone, but we do not. We have plenty of messenger boys. Sir William Preece, chief engineer at the post office. Did we get any better as the 20th century started? We didn't. Thomas Watson, who was chairman of IBM in 1949. I think there is a world market for maybe 5 computers. Move to the 1970s. Ken Olsen, who ran the biggest computer manufacturer at the time, DEC. There is no reason in the world anyone would want a computer in their home. No reason. We didn't get any better when we got to the 80s. Bill Gates, a name you're much more familiar with. 640K of RAM should be enough for anybody. Point made, perhaps, but what does this mean for you? I think it means 3 things. Firstly, the environment you work in will be very, very different by the time you retire. Secondly, you will fail if you try too hard to predict the future. And finally, and most importantly, you have individually and collectively a responsibility to shape the future so that you're not simply hostage to change. Somewhat scarily, your career is going to straddle the next 45 years or so. How much change might we see over that time? We simply don't know, but let's go back 45, 46 years and see what's changed since then. 1970. It's textbook only for most of you. The Cold War was at its peak, the Vietnam War was still raging, and Richard Nixon was the US president. There were 2 Germanys, and absolutely no one could have foreseen that changing peacefully less than 20 years later. The Beatles had yet to split up. Relevant to today, only about 10% of the population attended university, a figure closer to 40% today. Average life expectancy at birth was maybe 65 or 68 years. Less than half a lifetime ahead. That's now more than 10 years older. A gallon of petrol cost 20 pence, but it wasn't 20 pence because we still had old money then, so it was 4 shillings. Commercial jet travel was almost unheard of, but for the very rich. Moving back to my non-academic interest, the very technologies that sit at the heart of so much that underpins modern society, the digital technologies, were extraordinarily limited. Probably the best and most flexible computer of the time was made by IBM. It was the grandfather of the modern desktop computer. When first introduced, it ran at about 1/200,000th of the speed of a cheap computer you might have at home now. But what is most staggering is the cost. A computer then may have starting 8 kilobytes of memory. And the memory was incredibly expensive. I couldn't find 1970 price lists, but I could find 1979 price lists where there were a major price reduction. And the price fell from 75,000 US a megabyte to 50,000 US a megabyte. Now that sounds a lot, but not as much as when you put it into context. The iPhone sitting in my pocket now, in 1979 US dollars, even at the reduced price, would cost 1.6 billion. What $1 billion or $2 billion technology that currently exists is going to be in your pockets by the time you retire? That's the challenge and the opportunity. Just as technology has changed, medicine and healthcare practice has changed almost beyond recognition. Almost none of you will have attended a school where a small minority of the children were in calipers as a consequence of childhood polio, a fact conveniently lost on those who argue against immunisation. The chance of surviving childhood malignancies has increased year on year for the last 3 decades. And we have technology to image, assess, diagnose and treat that would have been unheard of and unimaginable when I qualified in the mid-80s, let alone 10 years before that. What's underpinned the developments in medicine and healthcare practice? What's made it better? The single common thread is science, the scientific basis of practice, the striving through education and research to achieve better outcomes. We hear much of the failings of modern medical practice and the difficulties and shortcomings of the healthcare system. and I, for one, do not doubt those challenges. But at the same time, we absolutely must celebrate and acknowledge what modern scientific healthcare practice has given society. Both the technology world, the healthcare world, and many, many other areas have seen huge advances. But they're really, in a large part, only possible due to two things: parallel strands of education and research, the two things that define a university and define this university. They are why the concept of the university and a university education are so important, and they're why you've worked so hard to be here today. Whatever career you enter, wherever that career takes you, make sure you embrace change and advances, challenging, provoking, implementing new ideas. Do not be so proud as to not to recognize the inevitability of change and how it will challenge your own practice. To quote Albert Einstein, whoever undertakes to set himself up as a judge of truth and knowledge is shipwrecked by the laughter of the gods. At ARU, we're absolutely committed to delivering an outstanding educational experience for our students, carrying out research and innovation whose results transforms lives and communities, and working to support the economic, social, and cultural well-being of the communities we serve. We strive to see each of these aspects improve year on year, and this year was no exception, as testified by external surveys and rankings. We had our best ever results in the National Student Survey. The Sunday Times UK rankings placed the educational experience that you've had as among the top 20 in the country. And for the first time in our short 24 years as a university, we featured in the prestigious Times Higher rankings, global rankings, placing your university among the top 2 to 5% of institutions in the world. You, as our graduands, are a part of that success, and for that we thank you. Before I close, I do have to make special mention of your families and friends who've provided you with support, moral, spiritual, and all too often financial, in helping you through your education pathway. We're in your debt, and on behalf of the university, thanks to you all. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank the staff across ARU who've contributed to many aspects of your courses, alongside our governing board, whose wisdom and guidance has helped shape the university. I wish you well wherever your ARU degree takes you. I hope you continue a relationship with your university in the coming years. Our success and your success are now inextricably linked. Enjoy the day. Congratulations. And Anglia Ruskin University would not be where it is today without you. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. We now come to the presentation of those receiving awards today to the Vice-Chancellor, and I should explain at this point that each year we have a competition for the loudest applause at one of these ceremonies. Now, for as long as I can remember, it was the nurses and midwives who won every year. But last year, you were knocked off your perch by the law school, so let's see if we can get you back into pole position this year. I now call on the Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Dean, Professor Ruth Taylor, to read the names of those who will be presented from the Faculty of Health, Social Care and Education. Professor Taylor.
Vice-Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present to you graduates from the Faculty of Health, Social Care and Education. For the award of Diploma of Higher Education, Applied Health Studies, Bolanle Caroline Adeyemi. Gemma Shear. For the award of Bachelor of Science Nursing Adult, Lucy McGregor. Sharon Osei. Edith Tete. For the award of Bachelor of Science with Honours Nursing Adult, Lauren Victoria Abbott. Claudia Afonso Sapana. Fulakai Akinfollerin. Regina Akaiti Akinbailey. Barbara Al-Hassan. Mary Jeanette Amitha Alath Muandarim Leje. Daniel Anna. Emanuela Apia Darkwa. Hugo Bahibanda Shamamba. Victoria Louise Bailey. Hannah Barber. Christine Bartram. Emma Beadle. Catherine Beckwith. Alison Catherine Blackburn. Tracy Boateng. Claudia Bull. Anna Burke. Nicole Carroll. Rebecca Clancy. Emma Collins. Sarah Conlon. Sophie Connett. Sylvia Canco Conte. Jessica Cotton. Anna Elisabetta Andrade Cruz. Kerry Cullen. Brian DaCosta. Senem Afi Duncan Adedevo. Obiama Cornelia Akedigwo. Gemma Ely. Marianne Adechuwa Frimpong Enyaboro. Olafunso Vadahunse. Comfort Funmileo Fumaboni. Emily May Fawkes. Catherine Fergus. Katerina Fernandez. Georgina Fields. Dervla Ford. Sarah Foscue. Kate Gardner. Deborah Garwood. Sarah Jane Gay. Samantha Gagan. James Gillingham. Francesca Gornay. Maria Samantha Green. Emma Harvey. Julie Hatch. Laura Ann Henley. Danielle Hill. Grace Hinger. Jacqueline Clare Hodgins. Julie Amanda Hole. Katie Louise Holmes. Elizabeth Humphrey. Claire Igo. Emily Ismay. Eleanor Jasper. Ronka Kemi Jayasimi. Rutendo Jemwa. Ashley Jenner. Fatmata Kargbo. Also receiving the Provide Faculty of Health, Social Care and Education bursary, Michelle Flore Kenmoen. Kelly Louise King. Abigail Knight. Carl Coffey. Adama Karama. Mavis Craw. Joanna Kujawa. Helen Larkin. Stacey Law. Also receiving the Provide Faculty of Health, Social Care and Education bursary, Gemma Lenkovitz. Uma Limbu. Kelly Locke. Christy Leinert. Kudze Mabundu. Lindsay Malone. Thomas Morewa. Lucy Mason. Heidi Matthew. Eloise Kate Maunder. Brona McGill. Stephanie McArdle. Michelle Ann McDougall. Elizabeth McMahon. Lucy Moore. Rebecca Morgan. Tapwanshe Jacqueline Moyo. Ijeoma Hope Dianafo. Lydia Busingye Mpora. Simangalizo Nglube. Bonnie Abininan. Mavis and Kanza Wamena. Fiona Elizabeth Notariani. Mary Kate O'Reilly. Josephine O'Brien. Bukola Abusedi Odorinde. Charity Ogbefun. Margaret Sidikatu Oki. Lydia Opari Kwarteng. Andrea Osborne. Tope Latifat Osene. Joy Asaguano Palmer. Jacob Payton. Rosie Paul. Rachel Sarah Rose Peck. Nicola Peddy. Alice Lucy Powell. Emma Victoria Powell. Catherine Pritchard. Sophie Charlotte Prosser. Sadiat Rabiu. Shedi Ramani. Sabina Reid. Abigail Redman. Niku Reid. Hannah Rigg. Lily Riley. Stefania Rizzi. Sarah Eileen Roberts. Emily Rush. Helena Russell. Emma Sad. Bella Lydia Sunday. Georgina Oke Saba. Donna Maria Saunders. Kerry Leanne Shields. Thembeni Singo Dube. Charlotte Smith. Rachel Sorahan. Kathy Stratton. Jess Studman. Rebecca Terry. Hayley Thurkettle. Carly Thomas. Lauren Jade Thomas. Harriet Tyndall. Katarzyna Tomazuska. Emma Catherine Toomey. Catherine Lucy Tyson. Nete Ubom. Edith Abele Ugboja. Ogachukwa Ugwuzo. Kelly Vaughan. Anna Villa. Kate Vincent. Lydia Warner. Victoria Warren. Julie Anna West. Sarah Weston. Rachel Juanita Hall. Lauren Grace White. Laura Jane Wicks. Victoria Kate Wilson. Natalie Wing. Emily Wise. Sheena Wallhouse. And now for a posthumous award for the Bachelor of Nursing Honours Adult to be accepted by her husband for Sitsi Chirengi. Vice-Chancellor, that partially completes the list of graduands for me to present to you today.
Each year, Anglia Ruskin University makes a number of honorary awards to individuals outstanding in their field of endeavour, who we hope will serve as an inspiration to those of you crossing the platform today. Their stunning achievements should motivate us all by reminding us that we should see our own success to date but as a starting point. They pose the question, shouldn't we too aspire to success like theirs? I now call upon Dr. Ruth Jackson, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Medical School Development and Director, Postgraduate Medical Institute, to read the citation for the award of Doctor of Health Science honoris causa to Claire Paniker.
Vice-Chancellor, it is my pleasure to read the citation for Claire Paniker for the award of Honorary Doctor of Health Science honoris causa. Claire Paniker has been with the NHS for more than 25 years, leading change and improving the quality of healthcare wherever she has worked. She is currently Chief Executive of Basildon and Thurrock University and Mid-Essex Hospitals, and the lead Chief Executive of an innovative new group management model which consists of Basildon Hospitals, Southend Hospital Foundation Trust and Mid-Essex Hospital Services Trust. Claire has perhaps the ideal background for a successful career in health services management. She is both a qualified nurse and a business graduate, so it's no surprise that she boasts such an impressive record of achievement. Prior to joining Basildon Hospital, Claire was Chief Executive of North Middlesex University Hospital for 9 years, where she is credited with radically transforming the organisation's performance and culture. Yet it was shortly after joining Basildon that she faced her greatest challenge to date. Following an inspection by the NHS Medical Director in July 2013, the Health Secretary announced that Basildon was to be one of 11 trusts put into special measures for failing to reach appropriate standards of care. As a recent arrival at Basildon, Claire had already identified the hospital's failings and had put in place robust measures to turn performance around. She recognised that hospital bosses had to be more visible, so she implemented a programme of closer engagement, with managers visiting wards and to hear the views of patients and staff at first hand. She invited patients to hospital board meetings, encouraging them to share their experiences. And she changed the hospital's organisational structure, putting doctors and nurses at the heart of the decision-making process. Claire also authorised the hiring of many more clinical staff, putting greater emphasis on delivering the best possible care right around the clock. By November 2013, after a second visit, the NHS inspection team endorsed the positive transformation. And following an inspection by the Care Quality Commission in March 2014, Basildon received a good rating, while their maternity care was first in the country to be rated outstanding. Subsequently, Sir Mike Richards, Chief Inspector of Hospitals, recommended that Basildon should be the first foundation trust to be taken out of special measures. Claire's vision, courage and dedication have helped to raise standards of healthcare provision and created a positive impact on the lives of both patients and staff. And today she carries responsibility for shaping the future development of the healthcare landscape of our region. Her professionalism and talent provide a shining example of NHS leadership at its very best. As a mentor for aspiring NHS leaders, both from clinical and management backgrounds. She will be an inspirational role model to our students. We are delighted to welcome Claire Paniker to our Anglia Ruskin community. Vice-Chancellor, I hereby invite you to confer on Claire Paniker the award of Doctor of Health Science honoris causa.
By the authority vested in me as Vice-Chancellor of Anglia Ruskin University, I confer on you, Claire Paniker, the award of Doctor of Health Science honoris causa. Heartiest congratulations from us all.
There was a panic moment, my goodness, panicker by name, panic by nature. So, Vice-Chancellor, honoured guests and students, I'm delighted to be here today to receive this doctorate, and especially to receive it in the company of so many esteemed colleagues and graduates who are the future of our NHS. I'd also like to extend my congratulations to all of you achieving this important milestone today. When I started out on my nursing career more years ago than I care to remember, I never dreamt that I would one day be receiving recognition like this. In fact, I never even dreamt that I would be a hospital chief executive. Like many of you who are in the room today, I chose nursing as my career because I wanted to make a difference to people in need. As a registered nurse, I staffed in London and Leeds before taking a business degree and making a career shift into general management and ultimately becoming a chief executive. Training and working as a nurse provided a brilliant foundation to becoming a senior NHS leader. I learned many of the qualities and disciplines that have been essential to help me tackle the challenges in my current role. As a nurse, you need to be able to influence others, you need to lead, be able to solve problems, deliver evidence-based practice, and most importantly, you need to be able to put yourself in the shoes of others. These are the qualities that are being recognised more and more in clinical education today. Academic opportunities for nurses and clinical professionals now are greater than they were when I trained, but they're nowhere near where they should be. So we need to encourage more nurses to be actively involved in research projects which can make a difference to the lives of our patients. I'm delighted to say that Anglia Ruskin, in partnerships with the hospitals across the region, is one of the universities leading the way in this area. The Faculty of Health, Social Care and Education at Anglia Ruskin is the largest provider of nurse education in the east of England. It is this pipeline of nurses and midwives, along with post-registration training and support, which is crucial to the future of the NHS in Essex. The university and the hospitals have a joint nursing and midwifery research strategy in development, a collaboration which means we can translate studies from the bench to the bedside. And our collaboration has also given birth to one of the few joint clinical professor in nursing practice posts in the country. It is by creating opportunities like this that we can equip our senior nurses and midwives with the confidence and skills to represent their profession at the very top levels in our health system. A good nurse understands that high levels of performance and the effective and efficient use of resources are also important parts of patient care. A good clinician recognises that an inefficient service and money wasted cannot be used to improve our service or our patient experience. Poor or slow access to services can cause harm. A good clinician realises that using evidence to support decisions taken on the wards can help improve the experience of patients. I'm very proud to count myself as one of a growing breed of trained nurses whose experience on the front line, together with a graduate education, has empowered them to become a senior NHS leader. As a clinician, my aim was to do the very best for my patients, orchestrating a large number of people, including the patients themselves, family members, social workers, doctors, And as a chief executive, I'm still orchestrating, but now I'm dealing with CCGs, local authorities, and the Department of Health. The aim is the same, to improve the experience of our patients, but now it's about trying to make it easier for my colleagues on the front line to do their jobs well. I'm proud to say that I still hold dear the same values I held as a nurse. I take them with me every day, whether I'm speaking to patients, staff, complainants, or bereaved relatives. I certainly believe they've made me a better leader. Like most of us who choose careers in the NHS, I believe passionately in improving the lives of others. I want to ensure that every single colleague who walks through the door at Basildon or Broomfield Hospital has the best possible opportunity to do that every day in every interaction with every patient. The NHS is changing rapidly, and it must do if we're going to continue to deliver the very best service to patients who are living longer and with more complex conditions. We're going to need, as we always have, the very best doctors, nurses and midwives to be at the heart of that change over the coming months and years. And we're going to need the very best leaders with vision, commitment, determination and skill. Whatever role you choose, I wish you all the very best of success in playing your part in that future. Thank you.
Dr. Panica, thank you. We now continue the presentation of those receiving awards today to the Vice-Chancellor, and I call again on Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Dean Professor Ruth Taylor to read the names of those remaining students from the Faculty of Health, Social Care and Education.
Vice-Chancellor, it is my pleasure to continue to present to you graduates from the Faculty of Health, Social Care and Education. For the award of Bachelor of Science Nursing Mental Health, Voke Akei. For the award of Bachelor of Science with Honours Nursing Mental Health, Kemi Aremu. Redigan Arfi. Katie Elizabeth Austin. Joan Funmaleo Adewopi. Phoebe Banks. Louise Borton. Shernat Chaplin. Holly Clark. Flavia Demand Cliff. Maria Muchinetta Uosho. Amy Victoria Fauna. Lee John Freeman. Neve Gallagher. Also receiving the Dean's Award for the Department of Adult and Mental Health Nursing, Annalise Gregg. Gemma Griffiths. Emily Haste. Cara Johnson. Joseph Campilla. Audrey Kanye. Lee Kiernan. Sean Lowell. Robin Lee. Bemisola Lewis. Prosper Kutse-Motsi. Liam Hall. Danielle Robinson. Holly Sonia Shelley Stevens. Charlotte Thompson. Faye Waller. For the award of Bachelor of Science Nursing Child, Charlotte Lackenby. Sharon Nahar. For the award of Bachelor of Science with Honours Nursing Child, Sian Aston. Harminder Billing. Ashley Bird. Lorraine Elizabeth Burns. Rebecca Bush. Gemma Katie Butler. Demet Chakantamor. Sorry. Jenna Church. Olivia Dubois. Molly May Ellis. Helen Fellows. Rebecca Freeman. Dawn Joyce. Alice Lewis Smith. Jessica Martin. Louisa Annahard McGee. Dominica Mintura. Tammy Moran. Donna Morton. Victoria Jarigi. Sajida Panjwani. Eleanor Francis Lorna Richardson. Katie Robinson. Annabelle Lucy Shotter. Jennifer Sodimo Jones. Grace Rosanna Thomas. Paige Natasha Uzel. Rebecca Nicole Whitridge. For the award of Bachelor of Science with Honours Nursing Adult, Françoise Sarandou. Vice-Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present those who have been awarded higher research degrees. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy, with a thesis entitled Foundation Degree Programmes in Health, Perspectives of Leaders and Contributors across the UK, Mary Northrop. Vice-Chancellor, that completes the list of graduands from me today.
Well done. And we're just checking the applause meter, but I think I can say that's the loudest applause we've had in any ceremony since 3 o'clock this afternoon. Now nearing the end of the ceremony, but first I would like to ask Emily Wise, one of our wonderful new graduates, to come to the podium to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of those receiving awards today. Emily.
Vice-Chancellor, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, fellow graduates, it is my pleasure to offer the vote of thanks today from myself and on behalf of all the students graduating at this ceremony. I would like to start by thanking the Vice-Chancellor, the Dean and all of her staff for providing us with the opportunity to study at Anglia Ruskin University. We have all had access to excellent facilities that have aided our learning and development throughout our course. We would also like to thank our lecturers who have been enthusiastic about all of the modules that they have taught. They have given us inspiration to want to gain as much knowledge as possible throughout our training. Our lecturers have always aspired to not only help us meet the academic requirements for the module, but also to ensure we have the practical information that we need when on placement. We would like to acknowledge the fundamental role of our tutors for guiding us through these 3 years with excellent support in class and during placement. Without your kind encouragement, we would not have completed this journey. We would also like to acknowledge our mentors in practice who guaranteed that we met our learning needs. We would like to recognise the contribution of our patients in practice and volunteers and service users for allowing us the opportunity to care for them and providing us with valuable feedback. Their commitment to supporting our learning throughout our course is of great value, and our patients will continue to benefit from their input. We would also like to thank our families and friends for their patience and support. We would like to remember all of our loved ones who can't be here with us today. Without all of these special people, we would not have achieved our goals. Today, we acknowledge our ultimate success at completing our formal nursing education. Throughout our future careers, it is important for us to share our experiences with student nurses in our own practice settings. We can do this by acting as role models to inspire them to recognise the importance of change and the primacy of listening to patients. We need to empower them to deliver high-quality patient care. From the time we started to our completion date, we've had wonderful, rewarding and challenging experiences. These are memories that we will never forget. However, we will all continue to learn throughout our careers, and I'm sure many, if not all of us, will go on to study further. So once again, I'd like to say congratulations on this wonderful achievement to all the students here today graduating at Anglia Ruskin University.
Emily, thank you very much indeed. I now call for one final time on the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Ian Martin, to address the graduates.
And now, will all those who have been presented to me here on the stage please stand? As Vice-Chancellor of Anglia Ruskin University, I hereby admit you to the degrees, diplomas and awards for which you have been presented to me today. As a member now of the community of scholars, take all that you have learned into society and uphold the values of freedom and thought and scholarship. Our warmest congratulations to you all. And finally, your friends, family and supporters have celebrated and honoured you as you've each walked across the stage. Could you turn, face them and return the honour back the other way? Once again, congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the ceremony, and I declare the proceedings closed. Will you please, I told you not to sit, will you please now all stand for the academic procession?